Hello and welcome. This is Michelle from PaperStampInk. Thanks for stopping by today. I'm going to share with you some of my favorite stamp sets that are retiring over the next few weeks here so that you have an idea of some projects you can make with those and determine if it's something you want to add to your collection before they disappear. So today I am sharing one of the images from the One for All stamp set. Let's go ahead and grab our paper, stamps, and ink and get started. So for paper, I have Whisper White Thick at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a layer of Granny Apple Green that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of the How Sweet It Is DSP. You guys know I love the Designer Series paper. And this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So just a very small Granny Apple Green border around that. And then I have our piece of Melon Mambo, and that is at 3 inches by 4 1/4. And this Whisper White piece that we're going to stamp on is 2 3/4 by 4. So that is it for our paper. For the stamp, as I mentioned before, we're using One for All. This set is retiring at the end of May, or actually, I guess June 2nd or 3rd. So I'm going to use the Happy Birthday stamp for this one, but it's got some other great images that are good for just quick and simple cards. And then for the ink, I am using Coastal Cabana. So let's go ahead and get started. If you haven't already had an opportunity to, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to my channel by hitting that red button down below and ringing the bell, and that'll make sure you get notifications when I post future video projects. I also have another sample card to share with you when I finish this one up of how you can change up the paper and colors and get a completely different look. So this is a fairly solid image, large image, so I'm stamping up from the top, or stamping the inking up, there we go. That's what the phrase I'm looking for, inking up from the top, so taking my ink pad to the rubber instead of the other way around. And I'm just going to line this up. And with these large images, I do always want to take my time getting ink on there, and also take my time and let that ink transfer into the paper so that we get a nice good image. Now this is a little bit lighter there, but that will settle in as that ink soaks into the paper. That's it for our stamping. Talk about quick and simple. Now all we've got to do is adhere those layers, and I'm going to bring in my Tombow Mono Multi glue, and we're just going to put these layers together. Oops, I missed one step. Sorry, I shouldn't put the glue on there yet. We're going to bring in the Detail Trio punch, and I am just going to round 2 of the corners on both my Melon Mambo and my image, just to get a little bit of interest to the pattern here. Oops. And nope, there we go. Gotta flip it around the right way. I'm going to put a little bit more glue on there since we've taken a moment. And I'm just going to set that down here. And we can go ahead and do these layers. I'm going to have to step across my Stampin' Room here for just a moment and grab my dimensionals. I did not bring those over. And, you know, for me, a card often is not complete without some dimensionals. It just adds a little bit more to the cards, I think. You know, you do want to be careful. Don't add too many dimensions, especially if you're mailing them through the mailer. You can have issues. I'll be right back. Let me grab my dimensionals. And I'm going to use quite a few on the back here because this is such a large piece. So I'm going to get my corners, and then I'm also going to put a couple in the middle there. Peel these off. And then I did bring in our glitter enamel dots to add a little bit more fun and bling to this card. There we go. Now you could put this straight across here. I decided I thought it was fun to put that at an angle. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool to come in here, and let's just put some sequins around. I love these because they're a variety of sizes, and I think that's adds a little bit more interest as well. Let's see, I'm going to put that one up there. There we go. And that is our finished card. On this one, you can see we get a completely different look, so you can mix them up. This is maybe more of a kid style card with those little gummy bears, or somebody you know who really loves gummy bears would be great for that too. I wouldn't have a problem giving that to one of my girlfriends for a birthday. And this one is definitely a little bit more masculine, using the Classic Garage Designer Series paper. And you can see how it just changes that up a little bit. And for these, if you're wondering what these dots are, these are from the Best Route enamel shapes, and these have been sitting, and I realized I had not used them yet. And I love these bold colors, and there's a little bit of black in there, so I brought that in. I could have used this yellow. I think it's close enough to do that as well. But these are fun, some good masculine colors to have available, where you can add a little bit of bling, but it's not overly feminine to me with the color combinations and the shapes. I hope that you enjoyed this. As a reminder, I always would appreciate the opportunity to become your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If you're interested in any of the products that I showed today, they are available on my website, and you can go to PaperStampInk.com, or you can go to PaperStampInk.stampinup.net and place an order through there. Make sure you use the host code, and that entitles you to a free gift from me. Make sure that you guys are tuning in as we get closer to the new catalog launch. I'm going to have some announcements on some ways where you can get things like paper shares and ribbon shares, how you can explore a little bit of the catalog without having to purchase every one of those pieces of paper, and I hope that you would enjoy that. In the meantime, make sure you grab your paper, Stampin' Ink, and do something creative.